Hi there. I'm just some random guy um, watching a lot of YouTube stuff on motorcycles, self repair stuff. And I've come across YouTube channel called The Workshop and also Del Boy's Garage and a lot of other stuff. Um, and there seems to be some rant going on between those, and I think I'll try to throw a different light on the way people should act on YouTube and the way uh, content like this is created. I'm a totally newbie in motorcycles repair stuff. I've been interested in motorcycles for, yeah, heavily in the last 10 years, more than ever. I got my driver's license last year, got my first bike, a brand new one, um, because I want to ride my bicycle. So when I had to deliver my bike for winterizing in late October, beginning of November, um, like most of you others probably, I felt yeah, something's missing in my life. So I bought a scrap Kawasaki, and the purpose of that was actually to learn to service and repair a motorcycle. One of the major arguments was that I could find online manuals, workshop manuals, so that I could do it the proper way. And there's tons of information on YouTube, so I thought, what possibly could go wrong? And along with that, I was searching YouTube stuff for bleeding brakes, caliber overhauls, chain tensioning, oil change, oil filter changes, and stuff like that. Um, and mostly I watched like I am busy. I'm also a father. I have a busy work, 3 kids and a wife and a house and 2 cars, etc., etc. So my motorcycle project was time limited. And I watched all these quick fix videos, which I thought would make sense because I don't want to make a project out of everything. But I must admit, in my search, I came across two important YouTube channels, at least in my career as a hobby motorcycle repair fixing guy stuff. And that was in the beginning Motorcycle MD. It's a Honda guy, professional Honda guy, mechanic that actually shows you um, a complete professional kind of mechanic work on repairing bikes, fixing broken stuff, analyzing causes of failures in engines, in electrics, in all kinds of stuff. And that's where I actually tried, and I thought that if I should succeed as a hobby repairist, I won't be able to do it as good as they do because they have a lot of I would say tools and all sorts of things in their workshops that we hobbyists don't have. It could be sandblasting machines, could be fancy tools for air compression stuff that they can have, all sorts of electric wrenches and stuff that would, yeah, take ages to buy if your garage is pretty much just filled with a 10 millimeter wrench and that's it, and a screwdriver. Um, so the professional approach was a very large appeal for me to dig into, um, and I somehow through Motorcycle MD felt this is the shit. Now I can actually get some competence, guidance in how to do this and that. And then I came across Del Boy's Garage and pretty much the Workshop YouTube channel before then. But then the Workshop channel actually started out with pointing out videos from Del Boy's Garage in what could be not so good to talk about, what could you do wrong, and what is that kind of nonsense that people are talking about just because they want to fill out a video of something that needs to have speech on all the time and explanations for stuff. And you can actually easily get yeah, I would say inaccurate if you try to discuss and explain stuff that you actually have not a professional background for understanding. And a lot of people are crying out for the Workshop. Why does he do this? Let the Boys Garage be. And I think to myself, well, if I fell for Del Boy's Garage and didn't have discovered the Workshop and didn't have discovered the Motorcycle MD, I could pretty much do follow Del Boy's Garage issues on how to do stuff. And I would maybe be a bit lucky in some situations, and if you have suddenly bad luck, stuff could go wrong with your machine, and you need to prepare it over and over again, and it takes too much time because you didn't do it the right way first. Yesterday, just not to mention Del Boy's Garage or the Workshop all the time, I came across a video that wanted to make a brake caliber overhaul on it, the pistons, and now that I have seen how a professional kind of work done on such a brake caliber and its brake caliber pistons and cleaning all the shit out, and so I could tell comment the guy that this is just lazy stuff. Don't do a quick fix on your brakes, goddamn. It's just lazy work, because if you mess around with the stuff like that and don't do it properly, well, things just start out to you have to do it again and again and again, and probably cost you more time in the end, and maybe also more money if you don't do it properly. I think the Workshop has some kind of, or Matt that runs the Workshop channel has some extremely good points in workshop manuals, OEM parts, reading stuff for specifications, and that line in repairing and explaining stuff is extremely important. I would say that we normally motorcycle enthusiasts maybe have a bit of old school mechanical background that can fix pretty much anything. We still maybe don't do it for a living, and then we doubt the engineers that built our bike, maybe back in the 80s, maybe back in the 60s. I don't know how old your bike project is, but how dare you? Those engineers had thousands of hours of research, multiple people with each specialized areas in engineering, building the engine, the frames, everything put together in a nice packet called a motorcycle, and then they sell it to you, and then you doubt what they actually meant with that. And one could argue, why don't you always buy OEM parts? Because those are designed for those purpose. Well, of course, there's money, and nowadays with all the web shops around the world, there's also some competitors that, yeah, bring aftermarket stuff, look-alike, Chinese built stuff that's out there, and it could perfectly do the job for you. But those are also, I would say, not maybe engineered from bottom up, but reverse engineered. so that they don't get a bad reputation on their products. So somehow doing a quick fix, in my mind, is totally waste of time. So I think that uh, one should be careful about the source where you get your information, and I think we owe to the workshop channel that that's one kind of modern source criticism that journalists are getting uh, Pulitzer prizes for, and we should do more of that. We should actually question the stuff that we see and read and gather knowledge from on, if it's YouTube, if it's article in magazines, everything should be questioned, and maybe follow up on. Read the specs. Is this actually the way the guy or girl says it should be? So I think that my mindset changed by learning motorcycle MD stuff, and also the talks from the workshop. Although I'm not an engineer in engines and stuff, so I don't know half of the shit that Matt is talking about. But I hang in and get the bits and pieces, and he can go and tell me that we have some velocity efficiency, or yeah, formulas my here and there. I don't care. I don't get that shit. But the common sense in what he says is what I want to know. For example, that you don't have a steam inside your cooling system. It's actually fluid until it gets so hot, and then you open up the cooling system and let air come to the system, and then might turn into something else than fluid because of the pressure relief. And so have no idea what I'm talking about, but I just saw that lately, that it makes sense that you don't have steam inside, because steam wouldn't cool anything. So I think my common sense gained a lot by knowing Motorcycle MD, that shares professional work. And the workshop YouTube channel should maybe take and share even more of actually working with bikes. But I think the channel is interesting from an engineering point of view. Although I'm not engineer, there are some videos that make sense about running rich and running lean, and why running lean is getting your engine hotter, and all those things. And that's something that Motorcycle MD has covered, how to adjust your carbureted setup, or even mixture screws, and so that you don't run your engine lean, and how to check for running engine leans and so. I think that's just my points of my way into hobby motorcycle repair and fixing stuff. And I think maybe you should consider following, Motorcycle MD or the workshop for this approach, by getting professional advice. So that's it. See you around.